Today I'm going to show you how I use the 0 to 400 method on a pellet grill to smoke these delicious crispy buffalo chicken wings, and I'm going to show you a homemade blue cheese dressing dip to go with it. So I've been smoking chicken wings on my pellet grill for a long time, and once I figured out how to do it, I could not stop making them. The key to a crispy chicken wing on a pellet smoker is high heat. You got to crank that thing up to about 400 degrees. Let them go for 20 minutes, flip them another 20 minutes, and you have some crispy chicken wings. Absolutely amazing. Now the reason for that is you really have to render down that skin to get it nice and crispy, and you're not going to get that on a normal smoker that runs between 200 and 275. You're just going to end up with a rubbery skin. Now you can have a delicious chicken wing smoked like that and render the skin down, but it's not going to be crispy. It will be bite through and rendered, but it will not be a crispy skin. I have a video where I cook some whole chicken wings on my pit barrel cooker doing that method. I'll be sure to leave a link at the end of this video, so be sure to stick around if you want to see that video. Now the thing with smoking these chicken wings at such a high temperature is you don't get any smoke flavor. The reason for that is the fire is burning so hot, there is no smoke coming off it. It is a super clean fire. Now I saw a lot of talk about the 0 to 400 wings, and people love this method, and I knew exactly why. It's because it's such a high temperature you can get a crispy wing. So if you do not know what the 0 to 400 method is, it's when you take your chicken wings and you put them on a cold smoker, then you turn the smoker up to 400 degrees, let it come up to temp with the chicken wings inside. Now if you're familiar with a pellet smoker, you know when you start it up you get quite a lot of smoke and then it clears out. So the 0 to 400 method is allowing you to capture some of that smoke. Hopefully that smoke gets onto the chicken wing and adds some flavor, but that's why I'm making this video. I want to find out if it's worth it to do this, or if it's going to have the same amount of flavor as it would how I traditionally smoke a chicken wing on a pellet smoker. Now, I'm also gonna show you a delicious blue cheese dressing dip for this, so you're not gonna wanna miss that. Let's get right ahead and start getting these chicken wings prepped. So here I have some chicken wings. So as you can see, these are the full chicken wings. I usually go ahead and get the party wings, but with meat prices being the way they are recently, this was a much better deal. Now, it's going to take a little bit of work to get these down into party wings, but it's really not that bad. And the price difference for me definitely made it worth it to get these. I'm gonna get more chicken wings for less money. So I am all for that. So I'm gonna show you real quick how I break down the chicken wing into the flat and the drum, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just get these finished. So here's your chicken wing. Go right through that skin there. Find that joint, cuts right through. And you're gonna want a nice heavy duty chef's knife for this. Same thing for the wing tip. Just cut right through that joint. You can see quick and easy work of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these trimmed up, and I'll see you back to get them seasoned. So here we have what you call party wings. When you cut the whole wing up into these little drumettes and flats, that's what you call a party wing. Now I went ahead and just patted these dry before I put them in the bowl. They're all ready for the seasoning, so let's go ahead and make some now. So the seasoning is going to be very simple. I'm gonna start off with a little kosher salt. I'd say close to a tablespoon. Then some black pepper, probably a half a tablespoon, and some garlic powder, probably closer to a tablespoon of that. Now the last ingredient is the most important, and it is baking powder, not baking soda, and you want aluminum-free baking powder for this. This really helps get the skin nice and crispy. I always use this seasoning mix when I use wings. It's super basic, just a little bit of flavor. I love adding all the flavor in the sauce later. So you're probably gonna want around a half of a tablespoon of this baking powder. That should be good. Now let's go ahead and get this all mixed up. And you can play around with the seasoning as much as you want. Probably add a little paprika, you can add some cayenne, whatever you're in the mood for. That should be good. So let's get our wings back here. And I like to go ahead on with half of this seasoning first, then give these wings a toss. Try and get them evenly coated, then go on with the rest of that seasoning. And give it another toss. All right, now I usually like to put the wings on a rack. The reason for that is because I usually preheat the smoker to 400 degrees, so I like to get them on a rack so I don't have to have the smoker open too long and lose all that heat. Now, since you're doing 0 to 400 and you're putting it on a cold smoker, you can technically throw these right down on the grill grate with no issue because you're not going to lose any heat. Now, I still need to use the rack, and you will see why when we put it on the smoker, but let me go ahead and just get these wings on here. And I like to go skin side up first. All right, we're ready for the smoker. Let's get them on. All right, so I'm using my Z-Grill's pellet smoker today, and this is why I want to use a rack. So I don't want to put the wings right down on this bottom grill grate because there's so much heat coming from the bottom. I think the wings might burn. And this Z-Grills doesn't have a second rack. It does have a second rack that can go up on the back half, but not a full rack. So I put in this rib rack I got. This is a Traeger rib rack. If you're interested, I can put a link down below in the description, but I put this in here so I can put these wings right up on top like that. So the wings are in. I'm gonna get this closed up. Now I can get this set. And I don't have 400 degrees on my Z-Grills, but I do have the high setting, which does go to 400 degrees. So I've got it set. Now we're just gonna let it go for a half an hour. So like I said, we're gonna leave these on for a half an hour. I usually go about 20 minutes to 25 minutes before I check them. They tend to cook a little quick. Now with the 0 to 400 method, it says half an hour, then flip them over and another half an hour. I don't think you're gonna need another 30 minutes. Once you flip them over, you'll probably only need 15 to 20 more minutes to finish them off. But in the meantime, while we wait to get these flipped, let's go ahead and make that homemade blue cheese dressing dip. All right, so this is a nice and easy blue cheese dressing that is absolutely delicious. It's going to start with about half a cup of sour cream, then a quarter cup of whole fat Greek yogurt. Now I like using the Greek yogurt because it adds a nice little tang. Now speaking of tang, we're gonna need a lemon. Want the juice from 1 lemon. And of course some crumbled blue cheese. You can put as much blue cheese as you like. I like going heavy on the blue cheese. This is 4 ounces of blue cheese. Some celery salt. Not too much. A little garlic powder, some black pepper, and a few splashes of Worcestershire sauce. That is it. Now we'll just go ahead and give this a mix. And we'll see how it looks once we get everything mixed up properly. Consistency wise, I mean, if it's too thin, you can add a little more sour cream or Greek yogurt. If it's too thin, a little more Worcestershire sauce, or you could even go in with some milk. And what I like to do as well is kind of crush some of this blue cheese chunks a little bit. That'll help thicken the sauce up as well. Really incorporates that blue cheese flavor throughout this as well. But I'm liking the consistency of this. Let's go ahead and give this a little try. Money. That's good. So our blue cheese dip is done. All we got to do now is make a buffalo wing sauce for these. But before that, let's go ahead, check on these wings and give them a flip. All right, we are half an hour on these wings. Check them out. You can see the nice crispy skin we're getting on these wings. And like I said, that's why you don't want them so close to the bottom there. There's so much heat coming off that deflector plate, it would burn the bottom of these wings. But check those out, absolutely gorgeous. Let's go ahead and get them flipped. We'll just slide these out a little bit, and we will get these flipped over. Then we'll slide these back into the middle of the grill and we will get it closed. And while these finish up, let's get that buffalo wing sauce made. So we got a super simple 4-ingredient buffalo sauce for these chicken wings. Let me go ahead and show you how it's done. So get yourself a pot. You're gonna want half a stick of butter in there. Good old Frank's Red Hot. Say maybe a quarter to a half a cup for the amount of wings we have. Now, I like to add a little lime into here. As you know, lime goes great with spicy food. Then the last ingredient is some honey. I like to add a good amount of honey. This is really just gonna make this into a glaze more than a sauce. So that is all. Now just take this pot, put it over some heat till you get that butter melted, you get everything incorporated nicely, and it'll be ready for the wings. So I'm gonna go ahead, do that now, and once I'm done, let's go ahead, pull these wings off. All right, so it's been another 20 minutes. Check out those wings. You can see we have nice crispy skin on these things. Absolutely amazing. This is what you get with that high heat. So these are done. Just gonna slide them out, give you a better look. check those things out. Beautiful, crispy chicken wings on a pellet smoker. It is most definitely doable, and these are gonna be good. So let's get them off and get them sauced. All right, so I'm just gonna get these into a bowl. And just check out that crispy skin. That is what you want on a chicken wing. All right, so here's that buffalo wing sauce. You can see it's nice and mixed up now. Just gonna take our wings and we'll just dump this sauce all over these things. Then just give them a toss. Gorgeous. And look at that beautiful buffalo chicken wing. These look so good, so let me get them plated and I will give them a try. Before I get into these wings, I just want to say a few things. The first is I didn't really talk about that Z Grill's pellet smoker much, but it is a fantastic pellet smoker if you are looking for one. I have a review video on the Z Grills. I will be sure to leave a link down in the description below for you, but it is a great pellet smoker. I like to say that it has a Pit Boss price, but the quality of a Traeger. I've used that thing so much already and it has been flawless. Also, like this video if you enjoyed it and make sure to subscribe. But let's go ahead and give these wings a try. And I can see that they're gonna be absolutely delicious. So let me go ahead and try it without that buffalo sauce first. That is fantastic. Nice, crispy rendered skin. And I meant to say, let me try it without the blue cheese sauce first, not the buffalo sauce. Now, it is good, but you can't have a buffalo wing without a blue cheese. So let me get some of this delicious blue cheese dressing we made. Amazing, and I knew it would be. Now let's talk about that 0 to 400 method. The point of it is to get some smoke flavor, and I'm really not noticing much more smoke flavor than I would if I do my normal method. So in the end, I would stick with the normal method I like to use. Crank your smoker up to 400, 425. Once it's up to temp, throw your wings on, 25 minutes, flip them, another 20. You'll have some super crispy skin. But the 0 to 400 method is totally fine if you want to use that as well. So I'll put the pit barrel cooker wing video over here, and I'll put the Z Grills review video over here. And if you want to subscribe, right over here. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and most importantly, get out there and smoke something good.